All right, what's going on, guys? Today we're gonna go through some key deadlift variations for combat sports performance. So these 3 exercises that I'm gonna show you is something that I've been utilizing for a very long time, from my own training as a pro athlete to the athletes that I actually coach in the elite level all the way down to the amateur level. And what I found was these 3 exercises do carry over, whether it be MMA, grappling, BJJ, wrestling, all of the combat sports, because of the planes of motion that you're working in, because of the position of your body, and also the force that you're gonna produce to help with going into either the ring or the cage or the mats. All right, so the first one that we're gonna go ahead and look at is a trap bar split stance deadlift. The reason why I like the split stance is because we work unilateral, putting the bar in the midline of the body. If somebody has postural issues, they have mobility issues, this is a really good way to still produce force from the ground up, still get a deadlift variation, and be able to get that stimulus without putting them in a bad position. The goal here is to load that front leg, and as the bar is wrapped around you, you have to maintain lat stability. So you have to tighten up your lats or your back and make sure that you have a tight brace so that you don't round at the top, keeping your posture. The bar is free range, so now I can pull it forward or backwards. Now the goal is to lock down the lat, so you want to maintain this position here. And when I get into the split stance, I'm basically going to have one foot in front of the other, and I like to have my heel off the ground on the backside leg. The toe can be in line with the heel, just because you don't want to clip the backside of your heel in the trap bar. If you have an open trap bar, that would be good too as well. But the goal here, again, like I said, is to pull from the midline of the body. So I'm actually pressing down through the midline of my foot, and I'm putting a lot of pressure down into the floor. So when I drive off this front leg, I'm producing force through the midline of my body, through the midline of my foot, using my quad and stabilizing my hip with my glute and driving through into extension. So as I go to pull, I have to make sure that my pinkies, I always like to cue with my pinkies pulling, so I'm locking in my lats. So if you have weak pinkies or if you have weak grip, the bar is gonna tip forward. So you wanna make sure that you squeeze with those pinkies, allowing for your lats to engage and maintaining your posture. Now it's really good for takedowns, it's good for takedown defense, it's also good for striking because of that unilateral stance and because you're putting force into the ground with that quad and the hip. Again, with the trap bar, I like it because it doesn't put any added risk on the athlete for their back or their spine because the bar isn't loaded in front of them. So if you have postural issues, if you have mobility issues, this is a great way to train and work on general force displacement for any athlete without hindering movement quality. So the next one is going to be a box sumo deadlift. This one right here, you're going to have some type of mobility. You're gonna have to increase your range of motion in your hips for you to actually get this movement down. But once you do, you wanna create that lateral force displacement. And that's why I love it so much, because it allows for the athlete to get greater range of motion. It allows the athlete to get in and out of the pocket, especially for striking and also takedowns. And the reason why I like the box is because it allows me to set up in a good position, increase my postural strength, work on the lower back, and then from a dead stop, you can create force from that static position. So you're going from a static to dynamic and a relaxed to dynamic. And why this is important is because every time in a fight, there's going to be a moment where you're gonna be in a clinch or you're gonna be in a static position and you have to explode out of it. So this is really good to do, especially inside the weight room, that can correlate over into the sport. You're getting lateral force displacement, meaning you're pushing out. So both feet are spread out. Now from there, I'm gonna grab the ground with my toes. The reason why, obviously, I'm wearing Vivo barefoot because I have a wide toe box. I can spread my toes out, I can create more torque. You wanna grab the ground with the toes and then also spread to make sure that you are creating force laterally as you go to push out, all right? So I'm gonna grab the ground with my toes, like I said, create that torque. Then from there, I'm gonna go ahead and just do a double overhand position. I'm gonna pull the bar to my shins using my low back, and then my upper back has to stabilize so I don't round forward. From there, I'm gonna sit straight up, use my quads to drive and push out. And from there, I'm gonna extend the hips and squeeze the glutes. So there's a lot of things working with this particular exercise or movement. And again, like I said, it's good for striking, it's good for striking defense, and it's also good for takedown and takedown defense as well. The third and last one is gonna be the Jefferson deadlift. And the reason why I like this is because of the positioning of the body and where the bar is displaced. Also, midline, it does require some rotation, it does require some mobility, But if you look at the stance, you're actually gonna get into almost like a fight stance. The way I like to position my body is, I put my heels right on the edge of the knurlings. So with my front foot, my heel is in line with the edge of the knurling. With my back foot, my heel is directly in line with the edge of the knurling. Again, externally rotated on the back leg, somewhat internally rotated here on the front leg, and then I'm gonna go ahead and rotate my body to grab the bar. So the back leg, that same arm is gonna come behind. The front leg, the arm is gonna come in front. You're gonna get a shoulder width position on the hands. As I come to dip down to grab the bar, I'm gonna maintain an upright posture. So you don't want your knees to collapse, so you have to stabilize. Make sure that this doesn't happen. We're pushing out using the glute medius. As I'm going to press out, I'm gonna drive through the ground with my midfoot on both sides, locking the lats in, and then pulling up. Back down, boom. Now at the top of the movement, you're definitely gonna feel it in your glutes. You're also gonna feel it in your quads on the press. So as you go to push your feet down into the ground, it is a press movement, right? We're pressing our feet into the ground, pulling the bar off of the ground at the same time, making sure you're maintaining a good posture with, again, the stabilizer muscles and the postural muscles of the lats, the erectors, the obliques too as well. And then from there, you're gonna go for your reps. The goal is to maintain the positioning, don't let the knees collapse, and don't over rotate to either side. So there you have it, 3 deadlift variations for combat sports, whether it be grappling sports or striking sports or MMA in general. You can try this out. 3 exercises, like I said, to improve your performance, to improve your force production, your rate of force production. Check it out, let me know how it goes, hit the comments down below. If you're looking to get transformed, right? The transformation challenge is going on right now. Hit the link down below to find out more details on how you can transform not only your body, but your performance in general by training some of my programs on my website. Make sure you do so. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you know when my videos come out, all that good stuff. Hit the like button, hit the notification. See you again next time. Peace.